Respected Chair and Secretary Petroleum and Natural Gas Government of India, Excellencies and distinguished panelists and distinguished invitees and students. I'm going to be fairly brief, given the fact that we have experts in this field from whom we should learn instead of trying to give them expert advice. And this reminds me of the following lines that there was a wise old owl who sat on an oak. The more he heard, the less he spoke. The more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why can't we be like that wise old bird? So, but there are 2-3 things which need to be quickly flagged. One of the roles of this foundation, and I think that needs to be noted, is to bring coal and petroleum sector together. These are the two warriors who keep fighting battles independently and not together. But I think there's a need for the two to come together and synergize. And this need arises because both of us are the ones who take carbon from below the ground, stored over millions of years, and bring it into the atmosphere. That's a common feature. We don't recycle the carbon above the ground. We actually bring carbon from below the ground and put it in the atmosphere. Given this common feature, and given the fact that radiative cooling as a solution to greenhouse problem is far, far away in future, we also need to look at the paradigm change which has happened. Life after Paris is not going to be the same. And with all countries declaring their NDCs, which are going to be monitorable, I think we need to put our act together, and the sooner the better. This paradigm shift is one part of the story. The other paradigm shift, which saw solar prices in India crashing below 4 rupees. I remember when, say 4 years back, we brought out the first 750 megawatt tender. And against a lot of naysayers and doomsday predictors, the prices came below 7 rupees and we felt very elated. That time if someone had told me that the prices are going to go down to 3 rupee 30 paise, I would have had a hearty laugh. But then that's the reality which is immediately staring us. So it is important for both these sectors, the coal, the petroleum and the gas sector, to adapt themselves and redefine themselves. And in power production at least, the role is shifting from that of a provider to that of a balancer. And this will require a fairly agile R&D investment, agile R&D results, which are going to give us some traction in the field. Otherwise, we might have the same fate as dinosaurs had. I wonder if Spielberg will make a film on the coal and the petroleum sector. I wish we avoid that contingency, and therefore we need to broad-base ourselves. While this is there on one hand, we also need to take heart from the fact that today a basic minimum energy supply to the citizen is emerging as an entitlement. We hear about March 2019, it could be March 2020, the deadlines don't matter, where the entire perception of rural electrification has changed from a pole in the village to 10% households in the village to every household being electrified and be given a reliable energy supply. Now this is going to be another paradigm change, and it's not so unrealistic. Just a couple of months back, Rajan sir and I were in a conference where we were informed by one state government that already crossed something like 92% households being connected, and by March 2017 this is going to be 100%. So if that kind of thing becomes a norm, the new norm, I think then the entire paradigm of energy supply is also going to shift. So we have to cope with these three different realities which are staring us in our face and coming closer to us and at a fairly rapid pace. We redefine ourselves, we reinvent ourselves, and then probably continue with such Congress in 2030 as well. Thank you very much.